Well, hey folks, how's it all going, old man? In the land of grills, we got a new grill. Oh, I'm so stoked to show you this one today, folks. This is from Masterbuilt. This is there isn't anything quite like this on the market. It's from Masterbuilt. It's called the Gravity Series. This is the 560. They have one that's a little bit bigger, actually almost twice as big. But this thing is so unique, folks. I'll tell you what. The principle of it is that long tube there gets filled up with charcoal, right, like Kingsford. Put it in there, and then it burns, and there's a fan that's controlled by a Wi-Fi digital controller over there, and it cooks. This thing gets supposedly 700 degrees. 700 degrees, they say, in 13 minutes. And it can low and slow at like 150. So this thing, well, if this is true what they're saying about this thing, it can do it all. So what we're going to do today is we're going to do an unboxing and assembly. I want you to see this whole thing. The best way to understand it is to put together your own grill, and that's what we're going to do. So keep on watching. All right, folks, got the box open. I'm going to do a pretty detailed, kind of a not really step-by-step, but I want to show you the major things when it comes to putting this together. If the weight on this thing, folks, is right around 200 pounds. I can't find the exact weight on the box. There's usually a weight somewhere in the box, and I'll be doggone if I can find it. But I know a lot of others have talked about this thing being about 185, and there's a fair amount of weight there. So if you're going to get one of these, you're going to need two people to carry it around. This one seems to be very well packed, although I haven't gotten it all out of the box yet. There's one box with a lot of parts and pieces in there, nice bigger wheels in there, and let's keep on going here. All right, folks, we got it out of the box and all unpacked. That's 15 minutes right there. Holy cow, is this thing packed tight. Lots of parts and pieces here, but everything seems to be fine as far. I didn't see any dings or dents. Here I got the legs up here on the workbench. They appear to be pretty stout. These are for the wheels. Here's an axle. We were talking about this thing runs off a fan. So there's the fan right there. So we get a little bit better idea there. There's the inside. This is where you actually put the charcoal down in there. So it's pretty unique. It's kind of got double wall construction going on. Take a look at some of the other parts and pieces here. This is actually where the heat comes into the cook chamber, and that's got some sort of oil on it to preserve it so it doesn't rust. That's kind of like your grate down there where your charcoal falls and burns. And I've seen a lot of people do mods to that. There's a Facebook page for Masterbuilt grill owners, folks. If you just go over to Facebook, if you want to find out more about it. The wheels are pretty nice and stout. We've got, here's some of the, it's got, no, hang on. This is the controller right here. So, and I think it's got a couple probe ports. It looks like there's 4 of them there. But they only have, and I could be wrong on that, but there's only one that I found so far, meat probe, and I think that's all it comes with. There's how you plug it in. They give a little, there's no numbers on it, so I probably replace that. I got some ideas for this thing. This is like a grease tray. There's where the charcoal, not the charcoal, but the ash from the charcoal goes. It's got some cast iron grates there. You got some warming grates. These are for the top. You've got a door right there. You got some other this and that. Wheels are pretty nice. Everything vents out the back. I can see a mod for that too, to protect it from the rain and snow getting in there. You're saying, Tom, are you going to modify this? And if you watch my channel, you know the answer to that is yes. So hang on, let's keep on putting this thing together. All right, folks, so I know I'm not doing what the instructions say to lay this thing flat and then install this burn pot first. But there's a high temperature gasket, and it's kind of like a 2-person job, and I'm just a 1 person here. So it was easier for me to put it on its head and install it like this. And there are 5 screws, and you're going to need, there's 2 of them that are, and you can see them back there. One on this side, one on that side. And a little tricky to get in there if you have a longer screwdriver that's magnetic. That'll help. You also have to bend this piece of metal around, and I think that's where one of your shutoffs go. So you be careful with that because you don't want to break that. So next step is just to tighten those all up, and we'll keep on going. All right, this is why I love putting together my own grills, folks. You get to see everything that's in there. So the fan is on the other side, and there's actually like a rubber flapper. See that? There's like a little rubber flapper, and the fan, you can't see it, but the fan goes through there, and this is upside down. So obviously when it's right side up, that's hanging down. You know, that's kind of interesting. I wonder how the heat if there's any issues with that, I don't know. We'll have to find out. All right, folks, legs going on, really super simple to do. The ones with the holes in the back, see those holes right, not hole right there? That's where the axle will go for your back wheels. And then obviously you screw your casters on there. Everything is pre-threaded. I really like that. And everything lined up so far so good. There's that fan again. There's the you know, you're looking at the very top of the grill here. And once again, I'm doing this with it laying upside down. And boy, that really makes it easier. And I can do this all standing up, which is, I'm an old man, so that's easier on me. All right, I spoke too soon about everything pre-threaded, but the shelf goes on with screws and nuts. You're wondering what I'm doing there. Is I held it up there and I put 2 screwdrivers in the hole to hold it in place because I'm doing this by myself. That way I'll be able to line up my holes and put my screws and nuts in. And this helps once you get this in there. If you want to hold it in place, then tighten down those legs that you have the screwdriver in to hold up your shelf. All right, let's get that together. All right, got her on her feet. So far, so good. I was a couple short of screws to put the shelves on, but they got an extra blister pack that says extra screws. And there were 2 in there, and that's what I needed. So yeah, let's keep on going. All right, now it's got you plugging stuff in, and this is where I'm getting a little confused because I think I did this right, but there's 2 more plugs. I'm sure this goes back to the controller, but it didn't really. If you look at that and this, it doesn't really match up with this. So I'm gonna kind of leave these loose right now and continue on, and hopefully by process of elimination, I'll get it right. All right, so that was a little bit of a challenge. There's 2 heat shields that go on. This one's curved, and the key thing you gotta remember is that you gotta loosen up these 2 screws right here, and then this tucks inside there. So I had to use the screwdriver to kind of gently pry it out. And then remember that little piece that we had to bend way back in the beginning? That fits in that slot there. So the other side, now that I know what to do, should be a little bit simpler. All right, so putting the door on is really simple. I like the idea here that it just slides in there. There's no bolts or nuts or anything. So nice job thinking that out. One thing I did notice, I don't know, I haven't heard anybody talk about this, but these are the shutoffs that cuts off your air. This one, and you pull them out in order to cook, and you put them back in to stuff your fire out. One is bigger than the other. So this one is wider by about a ½ inch than this one. And you'll figure it out when you go to put them in, because obviously the big one don't fit down there, and the little one, there's, you know, so I didn't know that. And it really didn't say that anywhere in the instructions, unless now you start looking at that and you say, hey man, look at, well, I don't know. It's hard to tell whether one's bigger than not on the drawing, but that's just so you know, that's how that goes. All right, to get the handle on, first of all, there's a left, and it's got a notch. There's a notch in the pipe, so this goes on the left. But what's even more kind of stressful is that you've got this hollow thing here, double walled, and if your screw comes up and goes down in there, there ain't no getting her out. And these are all rivets, so very, very careful, folks, and having a magnetized screwdriver would really help. All right, folks, so there's a bracket that goes on here, and this holds the heat manifold. The heat manifold goes in over there. In fact, they actually make it so it's easier to take off, because I'm assuming this thing gets this thing gets all full of grease. If you're wondering about quality control, looks like we blew through some of our spot welds here. But this thing is pretty heavy duty. It's stainless steel, I think. But you can see there's the 2 screws, and they fit in this slot here, which will make this a little bit easier to take off for when you want to clean it. And this is only the second time I'm doing this, so. There. Just like that. Wow, that was easy, eh? All right, so here's the underside of the controls, and you have to install an antenna here for your Wi-Fi to work, and it adjusts there. And I figured I'd just give you a look-see here, and look at all the connections and everything. I think this one's power, and hopefully I'll be able to figure out the rest of that wiring. But now it's time to install this, and there's just a couple bolts that will hang, and that should go relatively easily. All right, hooking up the electrical, the directions are vague. It just says plug stuff in. It warns you about that yellow one, that it only goes in a certain way. One of the plugs is bigger than the other, and the connections aren't really the best. And I kind of matched up the red and black to the red and black, and I figured that's what you wanted to do. And then this actually is your power cord and connects to that. So I did plug it in. I do have power to the controller, but I'm still confused about what those extra plugs are for over there. So I don't know what to do. So we're gonna continue putting it together, and hopefully this works. All right, sometimes you just need to sit and think, and I don't know what I was doing, but everything I needed was here. I just wasn't plugging things in right. So you know, remember that red and black has to go to the red and black. And once I got that unhooked and then hooked up one of those limit switch, the switches that's on the hopper, that when you open it, it shuts off the fan, then everything runs. So I've got that's running, fan is running. I think we're good to go. All right, folks, well, there she is all put together after my little wiring mishap and figure that out. Everything went together kind of smooth. I think it's going to be a nice little addition to the collection. What do you think? I think it's going to be. I can't wait to play around with it. We're going to do a burn-in on it real soon, and then we'll start evaluating it. And yeah, you're thinking, well, if you watch my channel, you know how I like to mod things. A lot of potential with this one. I got some ideas. So, folks, keep on watching Tom Horseman at YouTube. I hope this was helpful. So far, so good. Everything was there. No damage. Some user error on my part, but it all went together. Total time, well, with me making the videos and that, I goofed around with this thing for about 2.5 hours. So that's what it took me. I've heard other people telling me they put it together as fast as 45 minutes. So, hey, good for you. Thumbs up, leave a comment, and as always, folks, thanks for watching. I do appreciate it.